vehicles, we're moving from a world of hands-on to a generation of hands-off, where every surface is up for grabs to sell, educate, entertain, distract, and disrupt. The vehicle in which we travel has never been better informed by the road networks, by the city infrastructure, or the road users and the satellites that are surrounding us high above us. The question is, how should we plan for customer experience on the largest digital platform yet? To answer this question and more, I'm joined by the design, technology and innovation consultant, Dean Johnson of Active Right Brain, to answer some of these pertinent questions. So, let's just get things kicked off. This is mobility, it's the next big platform. What are we all going to be doing in our self-driving cars?
Good question, Darren. What are we all going to be doing? Well, avoiding the rude answer, because that's the elephant in the room. I'm going to talk about some of the things that we already do outside the car. So we, no matter what kind of place we work, however we work, we are communicating via our phones or things in our pockets. So we'll be extending the office. We'll also be extending the way we socialise. So all of those social channels, unless there are real humans in the car as well, then we'll socialise with them in the real world. But also the way that we just digest information. So all of the other sources of information we have bombarding us on a daily basis. The car itself, the vehicle, the whatever it is that we're travelling in, will be the greatest platform we've yet seen, because the things that we currently have as devices sit in our pockets, or they happen to be something that we're passing. But when we are essentially, for want of a better word, trapped in a pod that is simply the things that surround us, as you say, we've gone from the hands-on to the hands-off. So up to now we've not been allowed to be distracted by anything. Then suddenly we can be distracted by everything. That environment will suddenly change. So what are we going to be distracted by? Absolutely anything that could be thrown at us. And that's why. So that in itself sounds either horrific because there's no escape from it. So, that then talks about the levels of personalisation you might want to pare back to simply being falling asleep in a car. That's not involving technology as we know it today, but these are the things that we'll get back. We'll gain that, and at some other point, at some other place in our lives, we could be doing something else where we'll normally be sleeping. But yes, that sounds horrific, but actually there's a real benefit to having all of that stuff available to us. But actually, when we talk about as content creators, and from designers to developers to marketers to the brands that wish to communicate and extend their experience with the people that are involved on the other end, that suddenly becomes an amazing way to target an audience. You not only know exactly who is travelling in that environment, but you also know what their likes are, where they are. So not just that environment, that single pod, but where they are located, what it is that they're going past, where they've left, where they're travelling to, where they may stop off en route. So much information that we currently have a vague interest in, or a vague opportunity to know what they're doing, but we can't target them via a device or a screen or an experience. Suddenly that is an incredible captive audience.
So it sounds like this captive audience, this kind of, you've got consumers imprisoned within their own cars or their self-driving cars, and it sounds like there's a danger that it could be a very intrusive environment for consumers. So I guess my next question would be, what should brands be doing now to plan for this sort of autonomous future?
Okay, well this is kind of on two levels. So the targeting is very specifically about only giving your audience what it is that they want on their terms. Now that is something you don't get for free. So essentially, you think more about our environment where it's a journey on demand. So it's the Uber. It's we're so used to be able to not necessarily own something, but download it. So if you're simply purchasing that moment for a very reduced rate, the potential is you'll be bombarded with everything. Now you can pay to strip that back, so you could be having a premium journey with either fewer or no interruptions digitally and however that surrounds you, or it could be that you still own that car or you lease it to a higher level, so you are entirely personalising the content that comes into you. So a brand can be, as we would on our own phones, on our own TVs, on however else we are receiving. Facebook is based on, as much as we all moan about that as a platform to see, oh, we're getting all of these things targeted at me, you're targeted because you've happily given away all that information. Now, yes, there is a cost involved, whether that is down to giving away of information so that it's personalised, or whether it's a financial cost. That's how you then become, as an individual, able to control that environment.
So it's kind of a trade-off, isn't it? It's a balance between kind of how much we want free of charge, or how low we want our self-driving car, to how much we're prepared to pay a premium price for a kind of quieter, personalised experience, dare I say. But there's a lot of potential innovations out there. We've got ride sharing now. We've got vehicles on demand. Will we even need traditional roads as we know them today, for example? How will our relationship with these vehicles change in the future?
Well, that's one of the interesting missions for the automotive brands, and that's why we're kind of talking about mobility here. So even the automotive manufacturers are referring to themselves as mobility companies. So they are seeing this as how the audience and their relationship with the audience has changed. They would never have called car drivers an audience before, because if you're moving to an era of self-driving cars, potentially, if it's taken away from you completely, you are no longer a driver. You are an audience. You are a consumer and someone that they can relate to. But that area of mobility is then about the acknowledgement that the vehicle itself is something that we will change that relationship with. We will still go through, for supercar manufacturers, for the manufacturers that have a hero vehicle at the top, and that trickles down so that people still want to drive or feel as if they have a level of involvement with that vehicle, or a level of involvement with a luxury experience. They will still want to feel entirely involved with it, so as much for themselves as the people outside. There's always been the case when someone has got a type of car sat in the driveway, or they're driving past, someone will still want that to be part of their luxury lifestyle, or that halo effect. But the relationship for those in the generations that are moving up that have never owned a car, that have never driven a car, the opportunity there is for brands to decide whether they want to engage them in the same way, to say, actually, we want you to still be owners, in which case they have to start a conversation way before they can actually buy something or spend money on it, or whether they just want to say, actually, what we want to do is to entirely take that generation down a route where they will never own it. They will just be and have a connection with our brand, potentially via a third party, so that if you are downloading that car, you are downloading the opportunity to ride in that car, you may still say, well, I want this brand, or this brand. Whereas it could be one step removed, as you do with the Luna now, it's this big or this big.
So that's really interesting. So what you're saying is that driving a car in the future might be just an expensive hobby, rather than a necessity to get us from A to B. So Top Gear isn't dead then. We're still going to have that on our shows. But we're going to turn into passengers in this new self-driving future, and that brings me on to my next question, really, and that is, is it just cars? Because we're passengers in other contexts. What about public transport in smart cities? How does that all kind of feed into the self-driving experience?
The connected city is something that will, in theory, once it's all properly connected, give us a much better experience. Because at the moment we think about the commute, we think about anything that involves a road network of sorts, and at some stage, no matter how well oiled that is, you will face traffic and congestion. When everything that's on that network knows where everything else is, it has a much better chance to avoid everything else. And that smooth approach, also, again, when you're in an environment that is less reliant on the fact that you are simply holding onto a steering wheel and pressing a pedal or two. If you're entertained, you're informed, you're given another experience when you're in that vehicle, that time spent in there becomes less of an issue because you're able to do more with that time. But the smart city itself, and kind of coming back to the advertising and the messaging, that smart city is a much better playground for brands to target, because again, in your own car, your own personal environment, you don't want that necessarily. However, we're used to seeing billboards, we're used to being on a tube, we're used to seeing those types of advertising. But when that is personally targeted, then that is a much more effective way of doing that. We're into Minority Report style of the future, but actually we're so close to that future that was being predicted 10, 15 years ago. We're nearly there.
So it's kind of almost about integration again of transport systems with smart cities, and everything kind of coming together as a customer experience. It's kind of seamlessly between all of those things, potentially. So just got time for one last big question. And the big question I think that everybody wants to know in the audience is when, we've been talking about this for a long time, when are kind of self-driving smart cars going to be really ready for prime time?
Oh, it is a big question. Before all of that, I'm just going to say that I am a massive petrol head. This is not someone sitting here as a technologist going, oh, it's the predetermined future, it's all going to go away. I love cars, I love driving. However, I'm not daft, I know that this works. And the fact that I know it works is because I've sat in enough self-driving cars to not just go, this is interesting technology, it would be nice when it's safe. I've sat in safe ones, which is really good, which is really a good pointer for the future. When is it going to happen? The things that hold it all back are legislation. Legislation is there for a good reason, because we all want to be safe. We want to know that everything integrates with everything else. Now, the thing that the legislation is there to do more than anything else is to protect the human. Now, the biggest problem we face is actually the humans driving, because it doesn't matter how safe all of those cars are that are driving around on the network themselves, there will still be humans that will drive into them. All of those self-driving headlines that we've seen about Ubers overturned and old ladies run over, it's because other humans drove into them. Pretty much every single time. So when will it happen? So the technology exists for it to work. The legislation will not let it happen until everything else is in place. So we're at kind of we have levels of this. Level 1, level 2, level 3 are all of the things that the driver aids that we're used to, and a level that can sort of do things for itself. Level 4 is where it can drive for itself, but you're supposed to be there as a human to hold on to a steering wheel. Well, that doesn't put in any confidence in the human to say, well, if I let go of this steering wheel, will it crash? Because if you're meant to be there to so that next leapfrog over that to level 5 is where it does everything itself, and a human doesn't need to have any part to play in that at all. Again, that exists, so we're 5 years away from enough cars doing what they're supposed to do. We're 10 years away from it really properly working before the humans aren't driving into them.
So that's fascinating, and time has beaten us. But it sounds like it's going to be a fascinating self-driving future, but the opportunities for brands are going to be just amazing, aren't they? And so, Dean Johnson, Active Right Brain, let's hear a round of applause for our self-driving.